Hello everyone and welcome to my video on backup. My goal with my YouTube channel is to help as many people as I can. Since most trainers teach things a little differently, my video will talk about what it should look like and why, not how to teach it. If you are interested in how I teach backup, I will put a how-to video on my Patreon as well. There is a link to my Patreon in the description. In this video, I will talk about 3 ways that I do the backup. My goal with all of my horses is to have cues that do not apply pressure. This is so when the horse responds correctly to the cue, they have a clear way to avoid pressure. I believe horses are happiest when they are not experiencing pressure all of the time and realize that they have control over if and when pressure is applied to them. My cue for backup is my hand going straight up in the air like you see in this picture. You can use any cue you like, although I suggest you use something that is easy to use later when you are doing things like lunging or leading. I also use the backup as a time to teach my horse to come towards me when I lean or step away. I use a pretty dramatic lean to make it obvious to my horse the difference between come to me and stop coming to me when I come back up to standing. Our goal with backup should be that when I raise my hand, the horse moves smoothly backwards in diagonal pairs. I also want to make sure there's slack in the line so the horse is not feeling any forward pressure. We also want to make sure that we practice our backup cue while we are standing still so that our backup cue can create space between us and our horse. When I give my horse the cue to come towards me, she should come freely forward until I ask her to stop. Again, I feel this is important to do both in movement and standing still. Another way we should be able to ask for the backup is from standing beside them. I personally like to use the same cues whether I'm in front or beside them, so this is an example of what my backup cue looks like when I'm standing beside the horse. Again, you can use any cue that you like, I just think that it's best to keep it consistent if you can. Just like when we were in front of the horse, we want the horse to move freely backwards with no pressure forward on the line. Our goal should be that we can do it from both standing still and going with the horse, and that our horse should be moving in diagonal pairs. I will be building on this form of backing next month when I release my video on leading. Lastly, we need to teach our horses to back up while experiencing consistent light pressure like they are probably going to experience while riding. When I do this, I do not like to pull them backwards because this usually causes them to shorten their neck or over curl their neck and bring their head behind the vertical. There are many ways to teach this, but I personally like to teach my horse to bring their head down and out with a head down cue. Mine is to make a fist under the halter with my pinky towards their chin and thumb towards the ground. I do not apply downward pressure, I simply close my fist until they relax down and out, then open my fist so I'm just holding with my thumb and forefinger. From there, with my fist open, I gently rub the noseband of the halter back and forth across their nose until they step back. To the best of my ability, I want to keep the horse's head at or above wither height, and I want to keep the nose from curling towards the chest. Ideally, the horse should not be pushing into your hand, and the feet should be moving freely backwards in diagonal pairs. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you are interested in how I teach these things, please feel free to follow us on Patreon at the $10 a month level. Mine is to make a fist under the halter with my pinky toward their chin and thumb toward the ground. I do not apply downward pressure, I simply close my fist until they relax down and out, then open my fist so I am just holding with my thumb and forefinger.